We live our lives hooked up to the show. It's virtual reality, lost in space. Flawed personality with a smiling face. Be who you wanna be. Make up the memory. It's virtual reality.
What's going on, everybody? My name's Tyler. This is Sean. We are Rendered Reality, and thank you for joining us on Coffee and VR, freshly back from CES, man.
Tyler's like super hyped. I'm still trying to recover.
Yeah,
like
I
that
know.
trip like kicked my butt. I'm still just trying to recover from
I'm a
the
night person,
traveling
man.
and the staying up late, the
Yeah,
hour
I get
differences.
it.
Like
I know. I'm used to
It's
being
crazy.
up late and stuff normally, so that like 3-hour transition to me was
Yeah.
just my regular time. So
I
it
go to
wasn't a
bed
big deal.
early and I get up early. That's my MO.
Yeah, I know.
Not
I
in
get it. I
Vegas.
get it. I get
That
it.
doesn't happen in
No,
Vegas.
man. We were lucky to get a couple hours sleep.
man, it's
I was
crazy.
surprised to even see people the next day sometimes,
Yeah.
but yeah, it
Blast,
was.
though. It was
oh,
a
dude,
blast.
yeah.
It was a blast. But we'll get into some of that stuff
We
later. We talked about letting some questions and stuff coming through, but we're going to just go ahead and start jumping into stuff and talk about some stuff. One of the first things that we wanted to talk about was Grid Legends. So
Yeah.
me and Tyler both played that. This was a game that I saw coming out for Quest 2, and I was super hyped because I was like, how cool would that be to have an actual racing game? Like, we got
Right.
kind of like Mario Kart kind of stuff, like with Dash Dash, but
Yep,
not
that's
any
true.
true like actual car stuff. So I was super hyped. And I still think it's pretty cool, but what did you think? You hopped in.
I mean,
you hopped in there today, actually.
I was actually surprised. Like, I figured it was going to be jank, out the gate, because I saw what a lot of people were saying and stuff beforehand. I did get to get into it, and I actually like it. I mean, for a casual racer that I don't have to have my wheel and get in a seat and everything that you can go into, it is a lot of fun. You just can't expect to have like
Right, you can't
serious
yeah.
PC graphics, right? I mean, I think that's the problem with why people were, I don't want to say disappointed, because I think if you play it, you get it, and like it does become fun. And yes, it's more arcade. It's more, it's not that real sim 1-to-1, like the cars aren't going to handle perfectly and stuff, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a blast to rip around and drive. I mean, I can do this sitting on my couch, which I can't really do
Right.
with all of my stuff.
I think
so.
the biggest complaint is obviously the graphics. I mean, it's going to be super pixelated. It doesn't look anything like what you're going to see on, even like a PS3, a PS4, PS5, anything like that. It's not going to look anything
Right.
like that. It looks nothing like what you see like a set of Corsa and stuff look like on a PC.
Sure.
But for those people that don't have a PC and want to play a little bit of racing games, I could see them actually kind of liking this, you know what I mean? And honestly, I actually kind of enjoyed it a little bit, just being able to hop in real quick and just play real fast. But there's no motion controls. They didn't really do like a big time port of the game. It seems like they essentially took the game, downgraded everything they could about it graphically and make it run well,
Right.
and then throw it on the Quest, because you're still just using sticks, which is okay.
But stuff like this, I mean, I really wish we had that. The old school Wii controller where the Wii would snap into the steering wheel and you could actually rotate it and stuff.
Yeah.
Even floating, it might be fun for something like this. It really might.
yeah, I
You
thought
I
about
don't
that
know.
too, actually.
It's not the
I mean,
same
even
as
just
a regular
to put
wheel, but
even just use
That's
the
what I'm
controllers,
saying.
not even have to snap it in. Yeah,
but if they snap to something that
Right.
was solid, and gave you that 1-to-1, might help a little
it's
bit.
got multiplayer.
Yeah, but it's a good game. That's what I'm saying. It's
I mean,
not as
it's
bad
a
as
decent
I
game.
thought.
It's a decent game.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's
Right.
it's not terrible. It just looks ugly. And that's if you're expecting a lot. I think the biggest problem is people that
Exactly.
have never played on the Quest 2, they don't understand like the power limitations of a Quest 2.
Right.
They're expecting something like a PS3 level graphics. I mean, I feel like this is probably like PS1, maybe PS2 graphics, but definitely not
But-
anything past that.
But I mean, we see games like that that are just great on Quest anyways.
Yeah,
It's not always
all about
the
graphics. It's not all about
No.
graphics, but it played well. I mean, I was having fun racing around, and I haven't played multiplayer yet, so I would like to jump into a multiplayer session.
Sure.
I think, was it Artful or somebody was saying that after the show today, they're actually jumping in, I think, with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll try to do that. But
It is
Tony
cool.
Digital,
TD.
thank
Cheers,
you.
man.
He said, building
Cheers to
that
you.
next CES fun backup. Glad you guys enjoyed yourselves. I think we're going to go to CES every year now.
I mean, it's going to be hard to not to,
It was
right?
so much fun.
Gosh, from the people and stuff that we met there and the stuff we saw and got to try. It's
Yeah, the
just,
people alone made it worth it. All the people
I
we
know.
met, a lot of those
That we
I
know.
saw here in chat. I saw Alex in
Yeah,
here
Alex,
earlier.
good to see you.
It was so cool just meeting somebody like Alex. As soon as he saw us, came up and like gave us a big hug, and it was
Yeah.
like it was like we've known him forever. It was just awesome. Like the people were just great. Skeeva and VR with Jasmine and the Q2C guys,
Eric,
and
I
I mean
know, Todd,
everybody.
I know.
Like everybody was just so cool. It was just awesome people.
I know. Yeah, it was way too much fun, way too quick. I mean, I felt like we needed a week there, and I sure everyone else that went to would say the same thing, even if they extended it even another day. It still needs to be.
Yeah, I did want to mention too, before we get off of Grid Legends, we do have a giveaway going on for it right now. I posted the link earlier in the chat. I can try to post it again. I think it ends towards the end of the show. So if you sign up now, we can probably even try to do the drawing during the show. Let me see if I can post it in chat again.
We should. If you guys do have questions about stuff at CES, just kind of save them here for a minute. We might get into some of that because, man, I don't know. There was so much good stuff. And I walked away like, I don't know, because I have pre-orders on some stuff now. I'm all over the place with what I want. So it's a little hard.
I did see somebody was saying in the chat earlier, I don't know where it went now, that
I got you.
Grid is not... It said it wasn't pretty, but having fun playing it or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember where that was. I don't know where it's at now. It moved. But anyways, I think Grid's, if you go in with low expectations, I think you can like it. But
I agree. I mean, we need games like this. There really isn't any. This is the first that's like officially coming to the Quest, so it's a good thing. We need more of it, and I'm sure they'll try and improve it as it goes. They're going to listen to people. So,
hopefully they can up the graphics just a little bit. Hopefully Quest 3. Maybe they should have waited for Quest 3.
It's just the textures. It's those like farther away textures that just could be ramped up a little, and maybe not the depth, but just the quality, But however.
So Mr. Bowden said, "I rather play real retro." So I think that would have made more sense to just port like a retro style game that graphically wasn't supposed to be impressive, but But I don't know.
That's optimized to run on lower quality PCs and stuff. Yeah,
you know what I want to play?
No, now what?
This one.
Breachers?
Whoa, I love Breachers. We're going to talk about that because I played that some last night and this morning. But I saw this and I just couldn't help but laugh and just thought it was ridiculous, but I kind of want to play it. So this is called Slimeball, and I believe it's coming out on App Lab. But you're supposed to use 2 Quest Pros. It's supposed to be like a co-location thing. Obviously, you can see in the video, you're sitting 2 sides of the table. And essentially, you're supposed to launch these things towards each other and catch them in your mouth. And I just thought it was the most ridiculous thing. But I feel like it would be funny to play together,
it's
right?
It's not that crazy. I mean, the only bad thing, you kind of have to have $3,000 in headsets to play this.
Only $3,000.
That's the hard part.
I mean, I would guess it would still work on the Quest 2 as well, right? You just got
maybe
black and white pass through. All I know is they showed it on the Quest Pro. I'm sure that's what they prefer you to play it on with the color pass through. But I mean, this kind of stuff though, there's cool stuff you can do with this color pass through. Right?
Oh no, I agree. Right, but isn't this like the old school quarters game? Those old pub games and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think it's funny. So PD sent us a super chat and said, "Grid is poop on a stick." I was watching some of his video.
He refunded it.
Did he refund it? Oh, yeah. I mean, it is not a pretty game, but I kind of think it's a fun just pick up and play with your friends. I don't know. I mean, if you can get it on sale or use a referral code, I mean, I still kind of like it.
If all you have is a Quest 2, I feel like it's great. If you have a PC, then probably
if you got a PC, there's almost no point in playing it. Just play just play Assetto Corsa or something.
Exactly.
But
I know.
If you go in with low expectations and all you have is a Quest 2, I think you can have some fun. And I've seen some people have some fun in it, so I know it's possible. And I also saw the VR Spry guy said, "I have it on good authority that the RR guys may have caused others to drink a little too much."
Oh, who'd you hear that from? I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know where that came from.
No clue. No, it wasn't my fault. I didn't do it.
What was that?
I don't know.
I don't know what that was. But we also put out a little thing, a YouTube short, and I think on Instagram and stuff, a little behind the scenes, a little short behind the scenes of our studio thing here, because it's kind of ridiculous and over what we need.
It's okay.
And we're still trying to figure out how to make it all work. But,
it's all fun.
But it was kind of fun to do.
Yeah.
So
no, it was. My sister's in chat. Cheers to her.
What?
Yeah,
Where?
right? How about that?
I don't see her.
Appreciate it.
You're lying.
Paul P.
I see
Jr.
her. I see her.
Yeah, right?
Matt, I haven't seen her forever.
Right, I know. Paul P. Jr. said Need for Speed, No Limits VR. That would be a great one because the optimization for those old school, PCs and stuff that used to run that. Oh, yeah.
That would be pretty cool. It really makes me curious what GTA, I know they're still supposedly working on GTA, and my thought is I'm sure it's not going to release until Quest 3. But what is it going to be graphically? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just realized we were on that little screen. My bad.
It's a little scary, though, because what was the other one? Who was developing... not Assassin's Creed, but was it
Yeah, Assassin's Creed
that
is
they were
coming,
talking?
GTA is
Yeah,
coming.
but now there's rumors of maybe them dropping some stuff, some projects and everything.
I don't know.
I know,
Who knows? There's always rumors of something. It's hard to say for sure. But
I know, but that's okay. I mean, we have a lot of great games and a lot of people are developing for it. Now we're seeing a lot more headsets now coming out to run the same type of, stuff. So we're going to see even more develop, I feel like. Don't you?
I feel like these headsets are about to be a little bit outdated soon, though. As soon as we get the next generation of an XR2 chip, like even, we talked about the HTC new headset that's running on an XR2 chip. You got the Pico 4 running on an XR2 chip. You got the Quest 2 running on an XR2 chip.
Do you think the 3 is going to be on a next gen chip, though? I don't know, man.
I mean, it has to eventually, evolve, and it's going to be.
Does it, though? Because look what the Quest Pro is. The 3 going to be just a different version of the Pro?
No,
at this
the
point,
Quest Pro is still the XR2 chip, basically with just better cooling, better efficiencies. Right. Yeah. But I think when we eventually we're going to get a true, XR3 chip, and I think that once that happens, that that is going to be able to push the limits of some of these games and stuff that we're seeing. It's going to be just like what we're seeing right now with the Quest 1 getting pushed out the door. Eventually the Quest 2's life cycle is going to go along with all these headsets right now. So it's a little bit scary to me that these new headsets are still coming out with this XR2 depending on when it comes out. We still might still have a pretty long lifespan for this XR2 or the XR2
That's
Plus.
That's what I think. Yeah. I agree. I mean, it seems hard pressed to think we're going to have another one, an XR3 come out. Do I think we get this upgraded one with the Quest Pro and stuff? I feel like it's going to be more something like that, but I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong, truthfully.
I mean, eventually, though, the life cycle is going to happen.
It will.
I mean, it's just how far away
Absolutely
is it? But I think there's already been rumors of an XR3. So.
Oh, sure. There always is. They're always working. They're already XR2's out, so they're working on a 3. Absolutely. But yeah.
But it's kind of crazy. One of the things I did want to talk about, because one of the things we didn't do while we were at CES in Vegas, and one of the things we really wanted to do.
What didn't? Oh, dude, I know. This is the one thing I said I so want to do.
And we had it like in our minds that we wanted to do it. We were going to try to do it, but just the time there, things just go.
Make this one full screen because I want to see
fast,
this is so good, man.
It really is good. So this is essentially Holoride. So Holoride's been around for a while, but they were at CES. They were doing demos, and they're using the HTC Flow headset, I believe. So essentially, you ride around in a car in this one you're playing Pixel Ripped. So you have like an in-car view of you sitting in the car while you're playing Pixel Ripped. You can see it right here, and the car's just driving around while you do this. And I just think this is awesome.
I do too. I think this is so cool. And if you have one of these headsets too, you can buy just the module.
Yeah, they have like a puck now.
Yeah, you can buy just that for $199. And it works with GPS, so it sees the cars in motion and stuff. Really cool, super cool concept. But how cool would this be if you were, in the back of like a Lyft or an Uber or something, and you could, one of these headsets was hanging on the back of the seat, and you could just throw it on.
Yeah.
Right? While you're driving around, how cool would that be, man?
I mean, I think it's an awesome idea, especially for like longer car rides. That's what I feel like.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, of course, it'd be kind of cool for new people to jump in and try out and stuff, but on like longer car rides, if you can incorporate that car ride into whatever you're playing, you know what I mean? Whatever that game is.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like,
it wouldn't even give you motion sickness because you're seeing it in the headset
as you're moving, right?
I know, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, we got to try this. I wanted to try it so bad. But what would be even cooler, I think, almost would be a pass-through experience too, as the technology evolves.
True.
To where you're doing things out the window, like not out the window, but like seeing things out the windows and stuff like that. That would be really hard to do.
That'd be so hard to do.
But I mean, eventually, you know what I mean? Eventually it's going to be possible, I think.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. But I think it's super cool tech, and I love what they're doing with it. They're really outside the box with this, and I think it's a home run. Yeah. Now, I don't think it's like mass adoption yet.
Probably not.
But it's going to be, because what if these cars have this built in now, and this tech is sold to them?
What was the Audi
just plug
one?
in. I
know.
know.
What was that you were telling me about?
Audi's trying to do it as well.
Either.
Right. So there are, things where it just will be in the car. You plug in your USB-C headset into a port, and you're hooked up. How cool would that be? Be awesome.
It seems awesome.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
The idea of it is really cool, and it's been around for a while. They've been perfecting and working on it for a long time. So
we've talked
they
about
even
that
had like an old school like convertible Cadillac that they were demoing there that you could do it in. You could like ride around in the back of this old school Cadillac doing the
Outrunner 8, Holoride GTA, I'm in. Wouldn't that be ridiculous? Like shooting guns outside the window of a car? That might look bad driving around.
I feel like that could get a little intense. Right. I don't know. Like that.
That might be.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know.
I mean, it would be fun, but
it'd be a blast, yeah.
It could turn crazy, though.
Right,
I don't know.
right, exactly. I just want to say it's good to see everybody in chat, man.
For sure.
It's
It's
been
been
a
too
minute.
long.
Yeah,
People were giving us a hard time for how many shows we've missed. It was really hard because, we had Thanksgiving, then Christmas, and then New Year's, and pretty much everything was falling on the weekend, for Christmas and New Year's.
Absolutely,
and it just made it tough. And then we were trying to plan for CES and get ready for that and stuff, but it's just been crazy.
Oh yeah, no, we're back in the saddle now. We're good to go. But yeah,
Tyler's hyped today.
Dude, it's CES, man. That was like, I've wanted to go to CES for a solid 10 years, right?
Yeah.
So, and to see it grow to what it is now, and then to finally get to go. And then at the peak of like this mass adoption with VR, when we saw all these people walking around interested in VR that were from other industries, everybody, the VR section was so packed. It was so cool to see. And I think that alone got me so hyped for where we're going with VR that, I don't know, it's just, we're at that mass adoption stage and everyone knows what it is now and they don't think it's just, 360 videos and flat stuff. So I think it's really cool. And yeah, it gets me hyped because this is what we've wanted and dreamed of to see VR grow to. So, and I think we're there.
Yeah, I think it was crazy to just see how many people wanted a piece of the pie. Like, I mean, every single industry, everywhere you walked around had a VR headset or a picture of a VR headset. Like, it was just weird to see how big it was and how many industries like that had nothing to do with VR still wanted to have something to do with VR. You know what I mean? It was just crazy to see. So
yeah. No, we're there. I'm amped. And the stuff we got to try. Can we talk about any of it yet?
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
I'm just going to let this video roll in the background. This is just a whole bunch of B-roll from CES and all that.
Well,
so
let's start off. Artful popped in with a question. It said, Sean and Tyler, Lynx R1, more hyped or about the same? I would say I'm still exactly the same. I tried it and thought it was crazy cool. Like, the one thing that blew my mind is Stan was telling us with object tracking and stuff for your location, you can literally drop something in that spot. You can walk a half mile away, come back, and it's still there. We don't have that limited space that we see with
even the Quest Pro, you can only get so big because I've done some stuff in the basement where I tried to trace it out and it would only let me go so big.
Right.
When I wanted a bigger space to do like that one first-person shooter thing I was doing on there, and it would only let me go so big. So, but there's got to be some kind of limit to it. But still.
He said there's no limit to it. He said it is tracked in that space and with object recognition,
so
spatial
if you go that
recognition.
far away and you come back, it's still going to be there. That just blows my mind. Like, I mean, obviously we walked away in that space and back, but that was only so big.
Could I walk across the floor to the other corner of the building and come back? Would it still be there? And he said, yes, it will still be there.
That blows my mind.
I couldn't believe it either.
So Shirzad Khan City, thank you for that super chat. So he's got a PSVR 2 question. Remember that one? Yeah. So we can come back to that one next. But with the Lynx R1, I definitely was impressed with it. I thought that comfortable wise, form factor, that's a big thing, I think, going forward is we've noticed that now is the form factor, how important that is to us. And I think one of the coolest things to me, I love the flip up designs. And the fact that you can have that on there, you're using the device, you need to pop that headset up, flip it up. I think that's always a great feature. Yeah. For me, I want to use it more. So the demo was, the outer space demo where you could grab planets and move them. It's hard, like on these show floors, to give things a true test, to be like you're not reviewing these products. You know what I mean? All you're doing is getting a first impression of these products. So, I mean, I'm hoping that ours shows up pretty soon and that we can really spend some time in that and that we can compare it with some other things. But what I saw, I was impressed with, you know what I mean? And it looked good, like visually, the pass-through looked really good. The lenses, like I said in the last video, those crazy lenses, I had a little bit of... I had to work it a little bit to get into that sweet spot, but once I had it, it was good. But at first I put it on with my glasses and I think it was causing it to sit too far away where I couldn't find that sweet spot because of those crazy lenses. I think it's something that you'll get used to pretty quickly, but it was definitely something a little bit different than what I'm used to.
Yeah, I was pretty fortunate when I put them on right away.
Yeah, you didn't seem to have any issue.
I didn't have that problem. But yes, you have to adjust, which is
with
a
all
lot of
headsets.
Right,
all
exactly.
headsets, pretty much.
They have to line up with exactly your, the eye distance away from you and everything. So I totally get that.
But it was cool. I mean, meeting Stan and meeting their team and the Ultra Leap team and all that. Yeah. I mean, it was really cool, and I think that. I'm just hoping we get it soon still, you know what I mean? And I know they're starting to ship them, which is a great thing.
Right. We just want it in hand, especially with, all the AR stuff that we could do and do together. I think that has a lot of, room to grow. I think it's still being perfected. I mean, it's a hard thing, to do, but it is really cool.
So Alex said Lynx R1 has fallen short of my expectations every time I've tried it. Images are way too jittery and moving your head around at the moment. I didn't really have I mean, maybe some jitters, but the bad thing is, like I said, it's hard to really judge because even like with the PSVR 2, I mean, every single thing we tried there had tracking issues, at least for us, like with all that interference. So I tried to not judge tracking like too much because I know that it was just an issue there. So that's like what I mean. Like I need to get it in hand in our house where we're going to be using it. But the hand tracking seemed to work really well with
I can't imagine how those headsets hardly even work. I have issues with a Christmas tree in my Quest 2 not wanting to track when the lights are on.
The Wi-Fi, the Bluetooth, and there's just so much interference. It's just I mean, the place is huge and there's so much stuff packed in there.
I think, so PSVR did it right by having like individual boosts for each one and blocking off 3 sides.
But still had so many issues. So many tracking issues. Let's go back up to that comment real quick, that other super chat from Shirzad Khan City, so we can get to some PSVR 2 stuff. But he said PSVR 2 showing was disappointing, I thought. Reprojection, mirror effect, tracking, etc. Thoughts. So... I mean, it was a little bit disappointing because that was the first thing we tried there. So we showed up to CES. We missed our first PSVR 2 appointment. It was really hard to get PSVR 2 appointments. We missed the first one. They got us in still, but it was the first thing we tried. So I wasn't going there with any kind of expectation of having tracking issues. So once I had tracking issues, I was like, what is going on?
And it was following suit then afterwards. So
and then I realized like it was just everything there. And everybody else that I talked to there had tracking issues with the PSVR 2, whereas the people that tried it early on in just a regular space didn't say anything about any kind of tracking issues. So
we chalked that up, which I get.
Yeah.
To me, I just feel, and I don't know if it's because of everything else we saw there as well. It just didn't live up to the wow factor that I thought it might have, right? Yeah. I mean, it's good. It's great. Don't get me wrong. Like PS5, you have one. It's awesome. But I just didn't walk away thinking it was something I needed, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's how I walked away.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's not a good headset. I'm not saying what they've done with it isn't awesome. I don't know. I'm not a super, PlayStation fan myself, so I would have to invest into a PlayStation 5 and the headset.
Right.
So that's hard, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I mean, I have one on the way, so I bought the PS5 specifically for the PSVR 2. Have the PSVR 2 on pre-order. I don't think I'm going to have a bunch of tracking issues at home. At least that's my hope. There's no guarantees, but from what everybody tried it, like we talked about, in a better scenario, they didn't have tracking issues. So I think the Mura effect, I think, is what it actually is. That did kind of bother me, but like I said in another video, it wasn't something that I felt like super took away from the experience. It was almost like early on screen door effect, where you if you looked for it, it was there, but you could still play a game and you never even paid attention to it. So that's kind of how this was too. That's kind of how I felt about it.
But we shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
At this point in VR, come on, right?
You're using the OLED screens, and I don't know. I mean, it didn't wow me as much as I thought it was going to. Like I thought PSVR 2 was going to be a huge game changer coming into 2023. And I don't know that it's going to be a huge game changer. I think that it's still going to sell well, and I think there's going to be a lot of really good exclusives coming, even though we haven't had a ton of them announced yet. But yeah, like Shirzad Khan said, Peeps thinks PSVR 2 is VR savior. I think maybe at one point in time I kind of was thinking that, like, this is because PSVR 1 did so well with a still inferior product to most other things in the market at that time, right?
It's because everyone already had the console, too.
Right.
Think about that.
So I still think that it could be a very big thing in the industry, but I don't know if it's going to be the savior or anything coming along, but I'm still excited to get it. Like, I think that, like we talked about, I think the controllers are really good. I think the haptics in the headset were actually cooler than what I expected them to be, because it kind of, when you were in that environment and something happened, it kind of immersed your whole body into it instead of just your hands. Sure. You know what I mean? When something happens to your head, it feels like it's more of your body. And it was subtle enough that it wasn't like overwhelming, but I think that can be used really cool in shooter games and stuff like that. I think the colors and stuff looked really good on the Quest. I mean, on the PSVR 2. Sure. It was just that Mura or whatever.
Yeah. But and the wire's so good.
It's so good. I mean, I don't know if it's good.
It's not. It drives me nuts. But
yeah, it didn't really bother me too much there. But I was playing a demo in a space that I'm not comfortable in. You know what I mean? So I wasn't moving around as much as I would normally. But I don't know. I mean, I'm still excited for the PSVR 2, but I don't think it's this crazy VR savior that some people think it is. I think it's going to be good, and I think it's going to do well because PSVR 1 did well. And if we get enough exclusives and people, the PS5 is more readily available, I think it's going to do well. But I'm probably less hyped about it now after trying it than I was before. But I'm still excited. I mean, mine should be here in February. I'm still excited. I'm not planning on canceling my pre-order or anything like that. But
I know. Maywater Gamer Rat 60
yeah, Gamer
now.
Rat 60. She changed her name,
sure.
but she's been doing some streaming as well on Twitch.
Right.
A lot of times she posts those links and stuff in our Discord, so she's been doing some streaming on Twitch. But thank you for that super chat. She said CES 2024 fund, which we're definitely going to need to save up some more money for because that was kind of an expensive trip, but man, was it worth it. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it happened, but
It was
that's
so
okay.
much fun.
Yeah, it was well worth it though.
Yeah.
Just to get to try out the stuff. And I think for me, you know, and I've pre-ordered for a Crystal, right? So after trying it, I am so torn now with these headsets.
Yeah.
And even now, like I think about it constantly, I still go back and forth. Crystal was a good headset, but then I don't know. I tried that XR Elite and the weight just outshined everything about it. And I feel like that means more to me than a higher quality display at the moment. Like I feel like games now and the mobility of it and the backing of it being, you know, Vive and not Pimax. I just don't want to rely on Pimax, though I want that headset because I want it to be good. And it is good.
It is good,
but is it the complete headset that I
back there? We're getting
I'm working on it.
Okay, I don't know if you're doing that. So it's so bright. It's getting a.
But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to with all these headsets and everything has its pros, right?
Well,
so
there's
you have
still
to balance
no
on
perfect
what
headset.
the pro
you know what I mean?
is.
They all
for
have
you.
their pros and cons.
Right.
But
so we'll see. I don't know. Right.
What I don't understand about the Pimax, real quick though, the Pimax Crystal. What I don't understand about that is that it's like still the huge hammerhead form factor, but it's not the ultra wide FOV. Like, why do we need that big headset for that? For that headset, if it's not the wide FOV, like I get it for, you know, the wide FOV headsets that you need that big form factor and that big hammerhead style, but this one doesn't do that. Like the field of view isn't that big on the Crystal. It felt more like Index or something. You know what I mean? And so why do we need that big hammerhead form factor? Is it just because it's cheaper than having to redo more molds for a new headset?
No, I mean, I think I don't know if they had the ambition that they would be bigger on their FOV. You know, I know a lot of that stuff when they said it was coming out, they were, you know, talking about wide FOVs and that's what they were pushing. But there's only a limit to what they can do in a mobile processor headset, right?
Right. Well, so Anakaze said Crystal keeps getting kudos for being a standalone, even though it's not a functional standalone.
That's what my fear is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm essentially buying it then for a PC headset. I just have more faith in Vive bringing games to the market.
Which is crazy to hear now. If we have faith in Vive. We haven't had faith in Vive in a long time.
That's true.
But it's true. But you're right.
But I do. I mean, they need a win, or else what do they have at this point, right?
Yeah.
So they have to put all their eggs in one basket. And that headset is so good, man.
It is really good.
I've just fallen for it just in the brief time I even got to try it.
Yeah.
Just the weight of it is everything to me. I've said that for so long. We need lighter headsets.
Tyler has neck issues. So
Big
like
time.
if even the Index, if you play the Index for too long lately,
oh dude, yeah.
like you get like these crazy like
in the
migraines
back of my neck.
and
Yep.
and from the weight and the wire and the Index
front.
is a heavy. I mean, the Index is a comfortable headset, I think.
Yeah,
but I
yeah.
mean, for some reason that big thick wire and
It's
I don't
something.
know what it is.
It's something about it. It wasn't. Again, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't crazy FOV. It wasn't, you know, anything crazy out there. But it was done so well with the detachable battery, where you can swap out for another battery, which we love. We love the fact that because we do long play sessions, 5 hours. So one headset battery isn't going to last that for
go
us.
through these BoboVR
Right,
batteries
exactly.
like
Oh, dude, yeah. We
So
blasted
sadly,
those.
it's Bradley's in here, and he said, "I still don't
cheers, man.
understand who would buy buy the Pimax to use it for standalone." And I don't.
That's the
I don't either.
downfall.
Just what do they have for standalone? Like, what is
Right.
their software going to be for standalone? I
Right.
mean, the Quest has probably arguably the biggest standalone storefront because that's mainly what they've had for
It's
a
huge,
long
yeah.
time, you know, and that's where they've focused all their money. But
And that's why Quest Pro is a good idea if you want to carry over that stuff too, because you
Quest
get all
3,
the
I mean,
games
I think
library.
Quest 3 is
and
really
Quest
gonna
3,
be-
absolutely. But yeah, Pimax as a standalone, there's no way. I was buying it for a wireless
racing.
sim headset. So
Yeah.
if I got that wow factor of a wide FOV, you know, I have a 5K plus too, so I know what that crazy 200-degree FOV is. But it just still felt like a Quest headset to me. I don't know why. And I get it, it's crystal clear. It is very crystal clear.
yeah, the
and
visuals
that's the
look really
selling
nice
point.
on it, hooked up to a good PC. It looks really good.
But to me, the weight is everything
Yeah.
anymore. I don't know. After putting that XR, man, dude, that thing is so light. It's crazy.
The Pimax to me, it just felt like, and it wasn't that it felt crazy heavy to me. It just felt like I had this huge thing hanging off the front of my face.
Right.
And like, I don't love that feeling.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I
it
don't
just
either.
felt big and bulky off my face. And another thing that probably lent to that is they were using the AKX cable. So supposedly the Pimax crystal cable is going to be a thinner, lighter cable that's not going to pull on the headset as
But that
much.
doesn't have anything to do with the weight,
No,
really.
but I mean, it was
not
kind of
that
hanging
bad.
down even watching the videos when I was doing it. And I could
know.
feel that pull towards that side. So, I mean, it was making a difference for what I felt. But,
Yeah.
but I mean, I don't know. I think that, and it was funny because one of the comments in in the HTC video that we put out, somebody said that we were bought by HTC, and I was like, "What?
Wait,
like
what?
HTC has never sent us anything. They've
No,
never
no,
we or pre-ordered
we're
that
not like that.
headset at full price. Like, so we're definitely. I mean, we've talked so much crap about HTC for a long time because they've kind of had crap headsets that were overpriced, and
Dude,
we
yeah.
think they might have finally got a headset that's we're excited about.
Absolutely. And it still has room to grow because we don't have that mobile market on there yet. We don't have any of that
Well,
stuff.
they have
so they get to prove
the
themselves.
Vive port. Yeah, they got
Right.
Vive
They
port.
do.
And they've had
They
the
do.
Focus 3, so they have some, it's
I'm
not like
talking to
Pimax
a
where they're starting out
large,
fresh.
large
Yeah.
library. Like, yes, we're going to have access to stuff, but even this headset, I want it as my sim racing headset for the weight of it.
So
I can
you're
spend
planning
hours
on
in there
using the HTC
as
XR.
my all-around
See, the only-
PC headset.
The only
Yes.
bad thing is that I think that headset would have been even more killer if they would have included like a DisplayPort connection. You know what I mean?
I
Something to
understand
get
that.
true lossless, PCVR. They're still running through a USB-C cable, so it's
But-
still going to be similar to what you're doing with Quest. But they do have Wi-Fi 6E.
And the point of plugging into other things too. It just gives you that accessibility being USB-C to do other things. Laptops, all of them have the USB-C now. They don't have display ports even. So you're getting those options with USB-C. It's amazing we can do that even with USB-C, truthfully, with that bandwidth.
And I mean, I
stuff.
use my Quest a lot for, with wireless streaming PCVR or,
Exactly.
link cable sometimes. So I like the standalone market, not because the games look as good, but
Yeah.
because I like the simplicity of it. I like to
Right.
be able to throw a headset on, play. I was playing Breacher's PCVR last night, which it's not really a good thing that, games are put out to be good on the Quest and then ported to PCVR instead of the other way around. But I mean, that's kind of the world we live in. But you're playing a PCVR build of Breachers or playing a standalone build of Breachers, and it's pretty much the same thing. So it's
I
like,
know.
why not just play it wirelessly right on the Quest, no PC?
Comfort,
what I
man.
mean?
I'm all about that comfort
Yeah.
now. I have anything from, Pimax Index G2. I still go to a G2 even over an Index or something. I mean, there's for FOV, that has wider FOV, and I could go to that, but I don't, just because it's that all around headset that I would rather use all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
So Tyler's all in on the HTC XR Elite. He did pre-order one, so I haven't pre-ordered one. I bought the Quest Pro. He didn't get the Quest Pro, so he's going to get the XR Elite.
Right.
I'm not for now, at least, unless I end up using his and just fall in love. But I did like it. The comfort of it is just, I mean, I like the small form factor, light headset, comfortable, easy to use. That's what I'm all about kind of at this point. That looks good. And it still looks good. It looks good visually. It's got the diopter adjustment. It's got a lot of cool things going on. So Vexner 3, thank you for that $5 super chat. He said,
Cheers.
I'm in need of a new headset. How is the visual upgrade from Quest 2 to XR Elite and Quest Pro and XR to Crystal? Is XR Steam VR compatible? Have PSVR 2 on the way? Help. So
XR is Steam VR compatible.
So all of them are Steam VR compatible, except for the PSVR 2, obviously. Hopefully, maybe that somehow happens someday, but I don't know about that. But
visual upgrade. So bottom, I mean, Quest 2 and XR are going to be pretty comparable.
Well,
there's not a whole
it's
lot
more like
different
Quest
going on
Pro.
there.
So Quest Pro and XR Elite, I think, are a little bit more comparable because they're similar resolution.
Right.
Resolution of the XR Elite is a little bit higher than the Quest Pro. But I mean, I don't think the Quest 2 really looks bad by any means either. I mean, I don't think even Quest Pro or XR Elite, I don't think you're getting a huge upgrade from Quest 2 visually. I mean, one of the lenses are improved, stuff like that on Quest Pro, but I don't think visually you're getting huge amounts of upgrades.
No.
It's there. I mean, you can see it, but it's not huge. I mean, I don't know though, because the Quest Pro looks really, really good when hooked up to a PC playing PCVR. So natively, I don't think you're getting a huge upgrade.
I don't think it's huge there. I think the only big visual upgrade is going to a Crystal. Like if you're looking at just visuals, it's Crystal.
Yeah, Crystal's going to look
doubt.
better than the PSVR 2. It's going to look better than the XR Elite, the Quest Pro,
Right.
running off a PC. What it looks like standalone mode, we don't know, and probably not super impressive, but running hooked up to a PC, it's impressive. I mean, that's probably going to be your best visuals, I think.
Right. It is, but it just, again, depends on if you're trying to go for mobile or PC as well. So,
So
I know, it's hard.
Shirzakon City, another super chat. Thank
Oh,
you.
cheers.
Said, Vive Elite versus Quest Pro on strictly image resolution. It's so hard to compare right now because we just had a demo, you know what I mean, of the XR Elite compared to playing a whole bunch of different games in the Quest Pro.
I think the colors are probably better on the Pro, but that's, you know, the XR is a new headset. They can always change any of that color with the pass through and stuff like that. That can all be changed over time with software updates. So
essentially,
it can.
somewhat,
Oh, absolutely it can.
And
even if it's
we
crap,
also,
you can
the
still
two
fill it
demos we
out.
did on the XR Elite were both standalone demos. So we did
Right.
Yuki pass-through mode and we did Hubris standalone mode. So
Right.
I really want to compare the two of them both hooked up to a good PC VR game and see what the two of them look like. But I feel like they were pretty similar from what I experienced.
They all have their
it's hard to
things
say.
here or
Like,
there,
it's hard
but
to say when you're
crazy.
not doing a back-to-back comparison and you tried a whole bunch of headsets all that weekend. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's hard without a side-to-side comparison.
I
direct
will
side-to-side.
say though, the only wow factors like I got to walk away with were the XR Elite and the OWO vest. Those are the only two I walked away going, these are great. Like
Yeah.
this is awesome. You know what I mean? The other stuff, it was like, okay, yeah, we've got, you know, improvements and stuff and it's where we thought, but those things after trying them were those things that I'm like, that's what I want. That's where it's going. The weight is everything, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
It's all of it.
I don't know. I mean, for the OWO, as far as the OWO, I thought the OWO was really cool. And a lot of people that I've talked to actually didn't like it. And I think it's really going to be a personal preference thing. Like, I don't think it's going to be something where like everybody's just going to love it. I think it's really a personal preference of how you react with those haptics and how comfortable you are with it. So for me, what I really liked about it is the fact that with the OWO, if it's not turned up crazy high to where it starts to become a little bit painful, because it will if you go up too high, but if you're not too high, it's not painful. It's just a cool reaction because, so the one that I thought was so cool is he said, okay, I'm going to do a punch in your stomach. And he did that. And my whole, like those muscles that electrode was on
Cramped up.
tightened up. And
Yeah.
and it's the same thing as if somebody actually punched you because you're going to go, oh, you know, and that muscle's going to tighten. And that's what I felt. So I thought that feeling was really cool and a cool way to do things for certain kind of games. You know,
Yeah.
what all they're going to be able to implement and stuff, and game compatibility is going to be a big thing it still. But I actually like these haptics better than vibration. Vibration for me is cool, but
Or
it's
real
not
physical
like-
pain feedback. I mean, I
yeah,
get it,
but it
though.
doesn't have to be pain either. And I think
It
that
doesn't?
some people are worried about that because
No.
it's only painful if you turn it up too high. If you go up too high, yeah, it's going to hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
But if you go to just the point where it's contracting that muscle and you're feeling that, you know, it didn't hurt. I don't think it hurt. It just, it made it feel like something happened to you.
So
Something
you
hit
went through it and you were like, gosh, it wasn't even turned up like all the way. So
No.
I'm like, all right, I'm going to go in and crank this thing
Yeah,
up.
Tyler
so
cranked, and you
he
can see
kept
it on his
going up,
face.
and
You
he
can see
kept
it on his
going up,
face.
and I'm like, let's go. Like, let's do this, man. And yeah, it was a little ridiculous, but I actually had a different reaction with that shocking. So you had it to where you had more of a muscle feedback. And I had it where it was more of like a direct shock, like directly. So it wasn't, I think it depends too on where those electrodes are placed,
It is.
depending. And I don't know if that's, I didn't ask, is that customizable? Can you remove those inside the
don't think
shirt to
so.
move them? I don't think so
I don't
either.
think so.
But it probably does depend on where it falls and body
It
mass
does.
and all that
And
stuff.
I also think if you have it turned up higher, that it almost doesn't
Sure.
contract the muscle as much, and it's more, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
like a fine line where you really
Right.
have to kind of fine tune it and get it right where you
Yeah.
need it. But I'm actually really excited about it. They also do have, while we're on that topic, let me switch this over. They're actually coming out with sleeves as well. So they have
Oh, right.
plans for doing all kinds of different things, but they have a sleeve add-on that it's not attached to the shirt. This is gonna, as far as I understand, this is going to be a separate SKU that you buy and then you slide your arm into. They said they have like some gel that you put on the pads to make it a little more slippery to get your arm in it, I guess.
Sure.
And then, I don't know, I think it's kind of crazy. I mean, they said they have plans for a whole bunch more add-ons, so
Yeah.
I don't know what all's going to get shocked, but
I think it's a great way. If you want to get into something like this, it's not that, it's expensive, but it's not like, you know, $1,000
same price
expensive.
as like a B haptic.
It
so,
is.
like
It's an
X40,
investment,
I think it's
but-
like $400 or $500.
Right. But,
But
it's a lot of fun.
Pants,
Yeah.
Artful said pants, trousers in the works too.
Oh my gosh, yeah. It'd be cool to let people try it that haven't done VR. I'm like, oh yeah, you have to put this on, and then just let them free reign, and yeah, it'd be great.
The one thing, so Bluebell said, I love my B haptics vest, which I actually don't use mine that much because I don't like how hot it makes me. Like my X40, like there's no breathability to it, and it
Right.
just makes me kind of overheat. It is cool. Like one of my favorites is Population 1, where you feel that going up your body as you're jumping out of the pod.
Sure.
But with this, it's actually breathable. It's like a sports shirt material.
yeah.
So
Super comfortable.
yeah, it was a lot more comfortable to me than the B Haptics, but I mean, the B Haptics is pretty cool too. I need to start using it some more. I know there's been a lot more support for it.
It's hard because it takes a lot more work to get it to work with. And again, we don't, this could be a little tricky too to get games to work with it as well, which is always hard because I don't want to go into a game and have to like start software, modify software, and try and download all this.
There's always that barrier to entry, and you have to see what that's worth to you and how much.
I'm not about that life.
And I don't love it either. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. Like even getting this, I'm excited because the demo was really fun and we had a really good time laughing and cracking up. But it's going to be tough if I end up getting it and don't use it that much. You know what I mean? Then it's almost not worth it anymore.
Exactly. But Anakaze said the same thing. Too much friction versus the amount of benefits to lopsided at this point. It is. Yeah.
PD's right. He said, but you don't look as buff in the OWO vest. That's true. You have to actually be buff to look buff in the OWO vest.
True.
The X40, you look buff no matter what your body type is.
Right.
So that's cool.
Or the Tesla suit or
yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah. The Somnium Space guy, he was wearing the Tesla suit the whole time. It was so I want that thing. That thing's awesome. That'd be
Francesco.
Yeah,
dude,
that's crazy expensive though.
It's so cool looking though too.
Yeah. So sure, Con City. He said I tried B Haptics and returned it. He said I didn't need a massage.
Yeah. Right. I mean it's hard. I mean everyone's different. Put it that way.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's really personal preference. I mean, I think that's really what it's going to come down to. There almost needs to be a way that people can just try all these things and see what they like and see what ones they. I mean, how do you know? Until you try it. Just like VR. Like, how do you know how awesome VR is until you try it? You don't. Yeah,
I'm with you. I know. That's why demos, I've always said at Best Buy, are huge for people to try. It's so cool.
Yep.
Yeah. What else do we see at CES? Anything else that we really wanted to dive into? I mean,
there's the Somnia Space headset.
Oh my gosh, I know that headset's so dope looking too.
I love the way it looks for sure.
So good.
What else was there? I can't even remember now. Crystal, we talked about that. PSVR 2, we talked about that. The smell thing, but we got into that pretty
cool.
good.
That was really cool.
We got into that pretty heavy on the last episode that we did through the week. But BoboVR audio. So that is sitting right here. So we do have that on here. And I have not had a lot of time to test that yet because of getting back from CES. I've just started playing around with it a little bit this week. And I'm not sure exactly how I feel about it yet. I like them. They sound pretty good. They have 4 different modes. Like you can do a cinema mode, a standard mode, a gaming mode, and a bass mode. The only one that really seems useful is the gaming mode for playing. Like the bass cuts out too much high and the cinema has like an echoey kind of like you're in a theater and
it's okay. It feels like you have a lot on your head. But
yeah, it creates kind of a bulky headset with all of this stuff on there.
It starts to get heavier and bulkier and feel more trapped, I guess is a good way of saying it. Though it works good, and if you don't mind that, I don't think it's a big deal. But
audio,
for me, again,
it sounds pretty good.
It's weight, man. Anymore, I don't want this heavy headset on my head for, if you're only in it for half an hour, cool, you're good. But like for long play sessions, man, I'm over it.
And the other thing for me, and it has 2 different cups. So it has the standard cups that go in your ears, and it has the big ones. I haven't tried the big ones yet, which is pretty cool. They're magnetically snap on there, which I like. But the one thing I did notice with this, I was playing some Breachers the other day, and with it on my ears, it kind of puts not really like an uncomfortable pressure on my ear, but it pushes on your ears some, and it kind of blocks off my hearing to everything else, including myself. So what I found myself doing is that I couldn't hear myself very much playing. So I'm already really loud playing VR. We both are.
So you get louder then. So, I know. I know.
So when I have that on and I can't hear myself, that causes me to be even louder because I don't know why, but when I can't hear myself and I'm talking, then I think nobody else can hear me, so I get louder.
Right.
You can't regulate the volume even, which is already hard to do.
Right. I know some of our audience over here is
we have a
saying
live
the
studio
same
audience,
thing.
And they're like shaking their head like, yeah, you guys are loud as crap when you play.
Exactly. Which it is hard because you're so involved in what you're doing. You're not paying attention to, the level of your voice and stuff.
So that's one reason I like the index style off of your headphones so much. And I've been a big component of the Engineer AF headphones, which still aren't available, which bums me out, but I really like those still because they're more just like a regular headphone, but they sound really good. There's no power, so you don't have to worry about charging them, and I could still hear myself enough that I didn't have to get crazy. So I don't know yet. I still want to use them some more. I want to try the other cups. I'm still on the fence about them. They are powered, so you essentially have to charge them. I think they have like a 9-hour battery life, so you have to charge the device that goes on the side. It works with a ton of different head straps, not just the M2.
Right.
I think that, I've been wanting a really good audio solution for a long time, and I'm excited about it, and I like it. I just don't know how much I'm going to stick with it yet. I just need to use it more.
It's extra weight, too, and that's the big thing, because we see good-performing headphones without a battery and stuff, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to throw all that at it, it almost seems unnecessary, which I found with the VR ears. The same reason. I
were
didn't
too
like them
bulky.
for that.
They
Yeah,
were
it's
too
just
bulky.
too much weight, too much stuff, you know. So
I never realized, I don't think, how hard good audio is in VR. Like how much of a difficult scenario that becomes. You know what I mean? Because like
true.
the big headphones and bulkiness, claustrophobicness, sound, wanting outside background noise, not wanting outside background noise. There's just, and everybody's different too. Like everybody's different. So it's just, that's the hard thing with VR is there's so many different ways to do things. And
it is. And I feel like everyone's ears are different for what they like. So it almost just needs to be like, wear your own headphones, wear over ear ones, wear what works for you and what you like best. And you're going to have the best
honestly,
experience.
the Quest Pro sound is pretty good. They moved the position of like the open ear audio, and that seems to have a lot more bass than what the Quest 2 does from what I've experienced. If we could get closer to that, I almost think headphones might not be as necessary. And some people use the Quest 2 with no headphones. They have they love it. They don't have any complaints about it. And that's great. You know what I mean? And I've used the Quest 2 audio some. I actually haven't put my engineered AF headphones back on because I've been taking it places a lot, and I usually take those off. And then when I get back, I haven't put them back on.
Yeah.
But I got in my, the little foam covers on your ears. They were starting to get pretty torn up because I've used them so much setting the headset down. So I actually did order new foam covers for him too. But hopefully he'll still get those out. I still think those are probably one of the best audio solutions.
Artful said the Anchor Soundcore buds, and I've been using those too, and those are very good.
Yeah, those are a good solution.
They actually have pretty good bass too for being, you know.
You can actually, if you download the app for those, somebody was telling me that if you download the Soundcore app, you can actually adjust all the EQ levels of those earbuds. So if you haven't done that, there's a way to even up the bass and everything else. So that's actually, I don't feel like a lot of people know that.
I want the ones from my Bose sunglasses so bad built into a headset. Those things are so crystal.
Yeah.
They're so good.
That's what we need. We need some Bose making VR accessories. But I mean, these sound really good. So I'm curious to see if anybody else has them. Let me know. And like the deluxe audio strap, those sound pretty good. So I don't know. Just let me know what you think of them. I'm a little on the fence. I've loved Bobo products, everything I've tried of theirs mostly, but I think the headphones I'm a little on the fence about. I don't know. I just don't know yet. I haven't used them enough, I guess.
But there's options for everybody, so it's super cool.
Yeah, that's true. Somebody also said Razer getting into the VR game, and that I think is pretty cool. They had a couple products at CES. We didn't get to try them.
Really
just
good,
in a case, but the head strap looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not a battery head strap or anything, but I'm curious to see how comfortable it is. It looks like it could be comfortable, but yeah,
I know it does. It looks good. The strap just looks killer. I don't know. They're really good on their visual designs for all their products and stuff. So
also making facial interfaces and stuff too. So I think it's cool to see them getting into that space. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what their whole goal and plan is. You know, how deep are they going with this, or is it just, you know? Yeah, I don't know.
Some people were talking about the Shiftall headset.
Yeah. I love the look of it.
Right. I don't know
how
I think it's a long work in progress, and I don't know if we'll actually see it, you know, in hand or anytime soon. It would be cool if they do start actually, you know, getting it out to the masses. I don't think it's a mass adoption headset. I think it serves a purpose, but now, you know, you can kind of do the same thing with the XR Elite, right? With the head strap and everything and being wired to it without having a battery pack and being light. So I don't know.
I don't know. I think it
might be too late.
If you're getting the XR Elite, I mean, I feel like that's probably more comfortable than the Shiftall. It might not look as cool. The Shiftall looks really cool.
It does look cool. Absolutely.
Looks like cyberpunk, like futuristic glasses. I really like the look of it, but I don't know. Oh boy, we got a bad thing to talk about.
No, why? What?
Somebody brought up something that
they say
like sticking a knife in your wound and turning it.
Flat gaming?
Ben S.
Pancake?
No, no pancakes.
What? What now?
At the bottom.
At the bottom.
How are you still liking that, y'all, too? The pain in Tyler's face. Why didn't I have it on this screen? The pain.
That's
in
when
Tyler's
I need the
face
OWO vest on and that like stabbing going in. That would have been right there.
Yeah.
Right in the gut.
That's kind of a sore subject right now.
Yeah, sore subject.
I'm really enjoying the y'all too. If you're asking
great.
me, I still think it's great, and I really enjoy the y'all too.
Right.
If you're asking Tyler how he is enjoying his y'all too, that might be a little bit of a different subject.
I still can only dream about it, and that may be all it is, and that's the scary thing, because it is amazing. Like, it is awesome. It is epic. It is so good. But I don't know if I'm even going to have it this year. It's a little scary. Actually, their last update that came out last night for all their Kickstarters, they are now shipping more to non-backers than they are backers, which I understand they're trying to drum up income. I totally understand
it sucks
that.
for the backers
but they burnt through their income exactly for all the backers, and now we're getting that push to the back. You know, I think it was like 60 headsets to non-backers, or
60,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
chairs to 60 or 80 to non-backers and 20 to backers. So that's
Something
a little
like
tough
that.
to see, which I understand at a point.
Well,
But-
the bad thing for them, and they didn't see this coming, when they did this Kickstarter, is the price of goods have increased stupidly, what I mean, like crazy
Right.
high. So the price that they could build this thing for during Kickstarter time has increased so much now to what it costs to build it now and get it shipped out that they're really struggling.
Right.
And
They said
hopefully-
$900 for the original when they first projected what it would cost, and now they're up to about $2,400-$2,500, something like that
the
for
price-
cost.
something. It's just crazy. So
Right.
I mean, it's not all completely their fault. You know what I mean? That they're struggling right now, but we're just hoping that it's still going to come to all the backers and that they're going to be able to pull through this. Because right now they're not taking any more pre-orders. If you go on the website, it's been a little while now. They're not even taking any more pre-orders because they can't.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. It's just, they're in a tough spot, and hopefully
They
can
are. The
pull
bad thing
through.
is the longer they take, the more expensive stuff gets as well. So
Yeah.
it's a tough thing, but they do have some investors. So hopefully that is going to happen. And they are now moving production to Asia.
Yeah.
So they're trying to do that at a lower cost and get it out to people.
Yeah.
And hopefully they get that good consistency of producing and shipping and
Hopefully
stuff like
so.
that.
Hopefully so. Hopefully they can
Yep.
pull through because
Yeah.
I know Tyler really wants his, and I really want him to get it
Yeah,
too.
and sadly, we waited so long on the second because we had one coming at the front, and I'm like,
Yeah.
do we need
Need
two?
two?
Do we
Yeah,
really
and
need
then
two
we
of
did it.
these? And then
Yeah.
we decided, sure, we do. you know.
Skeeva is in chat.
Oh, cheers, man.
Paradise Decay said, Skeeva, in all those CES photos, why are you always standing on a stool? I want to know that too. Like,
Right.
Why do you always have to stand on that stool and look so tall?
Exactly, right. I don't know.
Skeeva he's so tall. Like, it was funny because we were at the one restaurant and we were waiting for those guys to get there. And there was like this big, like half wall thing, and you couldn't really see many people. But I was like, I know as soon as Skeeva walks in here,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
see him over that wall. So if I just keep watching over there, I'm gonna see him. And
Right.
as soon as he walks in, and so I knew Skeeva was tall. Meeting him in person, and he's even taller. Than
Yeah, I told him, usually I'm used to looking down to Sean, and I have to look
Yeah.
up to him, and I'm not used to that.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I
I
mean?
mean, he's so
Oh, yeah.
tall.
Yeah,
It's
no.
crazy.
It was a
but-
good scene, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, all them guys, Skeeva and Alex, like we talked about in the beginning, all of them guys, just, I mean, not just guys and girls that we met, from the
Absolutely.
community and everything. Just such awesome people. We had, I mean, that was probably one of my highlights about CES was just hanging out with everyone and meeting everyone. Like, that was just so cool. It was like surreal because
All of it.
you feel like you know them. You don't feel like they're strangers that you're just meeting for the first time. Like
know.
it's like seeing somebody that you haven't seen in years,
Sure.
that you knew really well and you haven't seen them in a long time and you see them again. That's more of like
Right.
what it felt like.
Well, you and I were that way with VR. You lived down,
Yeah,
700
that's
miles
true.
away, and it was only through VR did we ever get to hang out. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I get
Spry
it.
guy said, is Skeeva taller than Alex? Yeah, Skeeva's
Yes.
a lot taller. So me and Alex are probably closer to the same
Mm.
height. And then Tyler's taller than both of us. And then Skeeva's like two of Tyler. And it's
Two
just
of me,
crazy.
yeah. Two of you,
It's
right.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
No,
But
for sure.
it's crazy. So I don't know. We can talk a little bit more about CES stuff, but I really want to talk
Yeah,
a
we
little
shouldn't
bit
talk
about
too long, but
Breachers.
it's hard not to. Oh, yeah,
So,
Breachers. Oh,
This
man.
is...
Play
let's
it,
see.
people.
I wanna
Come on.
play, where's my...
You
here we
guys
go.
got to get in Breachers.
So this was the PCVR version last night, trying the new swing mechanic, and I absolutely love this for busting indoors, where you can,
Yeah.
because before you just had to hit that window out and then you
Which
could go
was
in
good.
the door, which still works good, and you can still
Yeah,
do
yeah.
that. But with actually swinging in there, you just feel so much more hardcore. You feel like you're in this crazy action movie, and it is so rewarding. And I just loved playing it with this new
Yeah,
update. And the
and-
PCVR, this is the PCVR build. It really looks pretty similar to the Quest build, but
And this is where you were clearing it out too. It's so much fun, man. If you guys you have to try it. You have to.
yeah,
have to.
it's such a good game. Some people were like, well, I don't want to try it in alpha stage. This isn't your typical alpha.
Right.
Like, this is not the kind of alpha that you're going to be like, oh, this game isn't good, or, it's so buggy. This feels like a fully polished game. It's just down to, essentially one level or one map, but 3 different levels of that map. So it's not even like you're playing the exact same thing
4 if
all
you
the
count
time.
the roof.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. You can bust through the roofs and stuff into rooms on the ceiling. It's so much fun.
It's really a good game, and if you haven't, I mean, all you have to do is go onto their Discord, get the link. You can download it straight onto your PC, or you can sideload it onto your Quest. Which I know some people get a little worried about sideloading, but
Yeah,
it's very
don't.
easy. Look it up a couple.
You probably,
tutorials.
I think it's hosted on GitHub, so you may have to create a GitHub account.
I don't know.
No?
I didn't have to sign in. or
Okay,
anything.
maybe not. I
just
know, but
clicked
I'm
it.
always signed in, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
I'm not
but
sure if I am either.
yeah, so maybe not. But yeah, go on there.
Good Guyam said, how do you download Breacher? So essentially, somebody can post a link, and I know Artful, I think it is. Is it Artful that always posts the links in our Discord?
Yeah.
So somebody can go ahead and post a link there. I don't know if somebody can post a link in the chat, but if you go to the Breachers Discord, you go to click the Join the Alpha tab, and
Yeah,
you
I
go to
think that's what it
GitHub, and you can essentially download it for PC, and that's the simplest way to do it. If you want it on your Quest 2, you have to download it, and then you use side quests essentially to side load it on there, which is really easy to do still.
And it is only for Quest 2 right now at the moment.
No, it's PC
Oh,
VR.
PC. I'm sorry, but
Yeah.
if you're going to side load it, it's only for that.
As far as I know.
And there's
you
two,
can play
two
Steam
different builds
or
Yep.
Oculus build on PC VR.
Yep, exactly.
So,
but yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, you have to.
It's really good. I
it's so
love the
good.
game. I mean,
I know we
I
play it
just
for
can't get enough
long
of it.
sessions. I
So
know.
one night, it was you were busy. I
Yeah.
wanted you to play, but you weren't on, so I just hopped into Breachers, and I literally went through like 2 or 3 of the rear BoboVR batteries, and those last like 2 hours a piece or
Right.
something. I don't know, but I spent so much time in there, and that's not often that I've spent that much time in a multiplayer VR game by myself. If I'm with friends, I'll spend a long time.
So I will
but
say everybody works as a team in this game.
for the most part, you get a couple squeakers, but
You do, but I'm saying you don't feel like you're just trying by yourself and you don't have people working with you. And that's what I like about it. It's great. It kind of forces you to play as a team. It's so good. Yeah.
It's a really good game. I mean, I
Ooh,
highly
people are saying it
recommend.
looks a bit generic. Play it. Play it and come back and tell us
It probably
then.
does look generic
Right.
in these videos, but it's the gameplay that, I mean, it's essentially Rainbow Six Siege
Right.
in VR. I mean, that's what it is, and it is so much fun in VR. Like it's just something a little bit different from the normal shooters that we always play, and that's what I like about it. That gameplay mode. You know, the weapon classes and purchasing weapons,
Right.
and you can pick up items from people that you kill at the end of the round.
Trade
and like,
with other people and
trade
stuff.
items,
Which is
yeah.
great. We love that. Yeah.
it's just a fun game mode. The mechanics work
Audio,
really well.
spatial audio is
audio
really
is really
good.
good. You hear footsteps coming. You can crouch, kind of like old Halo days, you know, where you crouch and you're less heard. And it's just really good. You can literally lean and peek around corners where most of your body's still hidden behind the wall.
Ooh,
It's really good.
Down to the last minute. Grid Legends giveaway. Sign up.
Oh yeah, Grid
GST
Legends.
just
Yeah.
posted the link.
Grid Legends. That game
Get
is
on
almost over, so I can probably draw the winner on here.
Yeah, but it's so much fun. Yeah, it's really been my go-to because I've been wanting a good multiplayer for a while now, and this has definitely done it for me.
Yeah, I mean, we play a lot of contractors. We don't play as much Population 1 anymore. We played that a ton for a while, but I think this is kind of our new jam right now. Is Breachers. Like,
I can't
wanna play it
wait
right
for
now.
more maps. Like, yeah, and I know we won't see one probably till the full release, but I don't care. Like, the replayability of one map is so good because you play it different every time.
Yeah.
And locations are different every time.
Yep.
And the way you go about it and with other people, it's different
there's
every
just
time.
so many options to entry. You can blast through walls, like certain walls you can use breaching foam. You can
Right.
come in on the ceiling with breaching foam and drop down. Like, there's just so many options. And if you can get a team that works really well together, you're like,
Yeah.
you're almost unstoppable.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
if
great.
you can work together as a team and have a game plan going in, it's like, it's just so good. There's drones. You can fly with a drone first to
Dude,
scope it
we
out, but
are-
somebody can shoot the drone down.
I love
like,
doing that because I'll go in
Yeah.
before you with it. I'm giving away secrets. I go in before you with the drone and call out where people
Yep.
are as
And
you're
you're just-
following, and they're
Yeah.
distracted by the drone like it's a butterfly in the room trying to shoot it.
Shoot it,
And then
yeah.
you roll in and pop them. It's so
Yeah,
good.
it
so
really
rewarding.
is good.
Yeah.
So thanks for GST hooking it up with links in the
Yeah.
description. People are talking about downloading it right now.
Yes,
So
yes.
Paul P. Jr. said downloading the zip file right now.
Absolutely.
Is Breachers coming to App Lab or Quest anytime soon? So the official game is coming to the Quest. I think it's like first or second quarter this year, if I remember right.
I don't remember when the actual.
I can't remember now, but dude, just download it. Like, you can play it now, and it's so good already. Like, so I mean, you can play it for free right now. You're gonna have to buy the game once it comes out.
Yep.
So
I really wish we had a way to team up, and that is the
Yeah,
hardest
that's-
thing for me before you go
with the
into
alpha.
a match.
The
Yeah.
alpha doesn't have private lobbies or anything like that. You basically just have to join the same room at the same time. So it's hard to get a big team together. All you know,
And you
on
can't
the same
switch
team, but
sides like you can in
at
contractors.
the end
and
of the
stuff.
full round. You can, I
Right.
think, but not mid game. So so that part, but that'll come on the full game, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
And
no, you don't need to be connected
Game
to a
Rat.
PC to
Nope.
play. You can put it right onto your Quest 2 through side quest, and you don't need a PC. Like, you don't need to be connected.
I can't say game rat. It's so hard.
I know, me waters.
Because
I
I
see the
see-
image.
exactly,
I
right,
know.
I know.
It's
It
so,
is tough.
it's so
It is.
crazy. So crazy. It's like James that I don't even know what he goes by
VR
now.
Mang.
Yeah, he's changed his name so many
Gamer
times.
Dad.
it's
VR
crazy.
Gamer Dad. I know, right? But yeah,
Classy Grandma said, if you want to give away a gaming PC, I'm in.
Yeah, we've talked about that.
We could do that.
We
And we've
have
given
talked
away
about
quite a
that.
few Quest 2s. We
Yeah,
could do that.
We've talked about that. Absolutely, we have. So
Give away like a gaming PC with a 970 in it. Or... No, I'm just kidding.
give away. We'd almost have to give away 910. Yeah, we'd almost
didn't
have to
catch
give
that.
away like a laptop because some people don't
Yeah.
even have monitors and like some people are just
Could do a
getting into
gaming
this
laptop.
because of the Quest 2. So
Yeah.
it'd have to almost be a laptop to be fair.
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, somebody can buy a monitor. If you get a sweet gaming PC for free,
I'm going to buy $100 monitor.
You can
real
buy a
quick.
monitor,
or hook up to a TV.
Yeah,
you don't even have
that's
to have a
true.
monitor,
Yeah,
truthfully.
yeah.
So yeah.
So Classy Grandma said, please for me, yes, laptop.
Laptop, see? Laptop would be cool.
We could totally do that.
Right.
The only bad thing, the thing I hate about giveaways is that everybody can't win. You know what
I
mean?
know.
Like,
I know.
I
We can
want
give away
everybody to be able to
100
win.
or 200
Yeah.
games compared to, one laptop or something. I
Yeah,
know.
but we did send out the Quest 2, the Ultimate Gaming Bundle. You
Yes.
know, with it came with the Bobo M2 Pro, the
Yep, battery, the extra batteries.
the gun stock, the Mammut gun stock, like all kinds of stuff. So
Grip.
we did ship that out. That went out. The winner actually got that, I think, this past week. My goal was to ship it out before leaving for CES because it ended right before CES, and I just didn't get it. So I literally shipped it out right out the next day we
Yeah.
got back from CES. So they did receive it. I got an email saying they received it, so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
So
so cool.
yeah, it was really fun to do, and that was like the ultimate bundle. He was super excited. I
Yeah,
guess
that's the best
he
part.
had a PCVR headset because I asked him when I emailed him, and he said he has a PCVR headset, but he's really wanted a Quest to do
Right.
like wireless and all that stuff. He never
Absolutely.
had a Quest, so
Yeah.
he was super excited. So
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, it's really cool.
Yep.
But
Man, what else? Was there anything else? Oh, dropping the OG Quest. How about that, man?
oh yeah,
Dropping
I didn't even
support
look
for
at
the
my
OG
notes this
Quest.
show. I had notes,
I know.
but we've just been rambling on so much.
But yeah,
yeah,
I
so
guess
OG
we kind of
Quest is-
expected that, though, right?
I mean, if people are upset about it, and I understand, but
We've
like
been
you
saying
can't
that.
support it forever.
I
You know, I mean,
know.
eventually the Quest 2 is going to get dropped too. Once I mean, at least they've held on to it this long, and you're still going to be able to use it. You just can't you can't
You
have
won't get
people
upgrade.
join your home environment. You can't do, I think, Horizons anymore, which nobody does anyways.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's a couple things, but you can still play the games you have
Right.
and all that stuff.
yeah,
but,
it's not like it's going to brick it or something, but
no,
yeah.
it's still going to be usable. But I
Right.
mean, it's coming. I mean, that's life cycles. Everything has, a life cycle. And if the problem
Sure
is
it is.
if that lives on forever, then that means technology isn't
handicaps.
progressing to make it to where that's not usable anymore because the new
100%.
technology is so good. You
I'm
know what I
with you,
mean?
yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, if you have one, I mean, think
I
how
still
long
have
you've
one,
had
but I
it.
haven't used it in a long time. My Quest 1.
Actually, I use mine as a loaner.
Yeah? Oh,
I
yeah.
give it out to friends
true.
and family and stuff like that to use to
Yeah.
let them experience it and stuff because there's still a lot of great games on there.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
Yeah,
and a lot of
so
them are
it's
still
like-
playable. I mean, some of the newer stuff, that are more demanding and stuff aren't playable, but
yep.
yeah.
I know.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, Roblox.
Oh,
Roblox.
might
I
be
feel like I've heard
coming.
these rumors before, but Roblox is rumored to launch on Quest in late 2023. And I guess some news articles reached out to Roblox and to Meta and all that to try to get some more information.
Right.
And neither one of them really respond or give any info. I've never played Roblox. Have you? I don't really know much about it.
Like
Isn't
one,
it like
one time,
Minecraft / like some other things?
it's kind of like a world build. Like you can build games inside of Roblox, like mini games essentially.
Gotcha.
And build your own world. So yeah, I mean, you get people who are super creative on there and stuff. It's like that sandbox-ish, like build your own games kind of thing. And yeah, it's got a big backing, but a lot of that comes because, if I'm not mistaken, it's completely free on all these consoles, I think.
Yeah, I don't know how-
So
I really
it
don't know
kind
anything
of,
about it.
all these, I don't want to say squeakers get it, but it's a lot of that kind of stuff. But I mean, you can still have a lot of fun with that kind of stuff. And it would be cool because in VR, everything's different. Like look at Among Us and stuff. Or,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah.
Among Us is still so much fun. Oh, like Rec Room. Okay. Gaming Science Teacher said it's kind of like Rec Room.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I'm super excited about it, but there's so many people that play it. It would probably be a huge thing for VR.
Sure. Absolutely.
But the Grid Legends did end, and I just drew the winner on my phone. It is Carlos. So Carlos Gonzalez won the Grid Legends code. So after this
Nice.
is over, he was number 310, entry number 310. So after this is over, I will email you, and our
Sweet.
only stipulation is you have to respond within 24 hours.
That's
If
it.
you don't respond, then we draw a new winner, and
Yep.
somebody else gets it. So
We don't
just
want
respond.
bots. We don't want people who
I
are
don't know
just
if he's in
randomly.
the chat or anything like that, but Carlos, you did win Grid Legends. Let us know what you think about it. And
Cheers. Yeah.
who was it that's getting into that after this? Because I would like to kind of play with some people. But
Yeah, it's not that bad.
it's kind of fun with
is
people.
cool. Yeah.
Paradise Decay, he is not a fan at all. And I think PD said that that's his favorite Codemaster, is like one of his favorite developer teams too. So
I know.
it's definitely a bummer coming from him. But
When you have those high expectations too, it's really hard.
yeah, I mean, it's not a good looking game, but it is fun. I mean, I know
Right.
a lot of people are still having fun with it. So
Right.
I mean, just know that going in and try it out. You can always return it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Just return it
the
if you don't
return
like
policy
it.
is
I mean,
great.
it is
Yeah.
what it is. I mean, if you don't
Yep.
like it, return it.
I know.
But anyways,
Yeah, and appreciate everybody congratulating Carlos.
yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
super
awesome.
cool. You guys are great. That's why we're here because you
Yep.
guys are cool.
Pretty
we love
much.
hanging out.
pretty much. It's
Great.
been too long since doing Cop VR. We'll try to get
know,
back
man.
to doing like every other weekend kind of things. Still don't know about every weekend, but at least every other weekend. we'll
Right.
try.
I gotta. one of our audience members is not down here. I told her I would promise to get my car done, the Triumph. So I have to put some time to that, but we are still going to be here.
Yeah.
I got to get that done before spring. I have to. But that doesn't mean we're slowing the show down by any means. Saturday mornings, I probably wouldn't be working on it anyways.
Yeah. So Artful said, looking for a game after the show. I know Ham VR was going to play as well. He said, I will tag Ham VR and 18:30 UK time, whatever the heck time that is, but I think it's right after the show. So
yeah,
I don't know what time that is.
He says it completely for what it's worth.
Grid.
He enjoyed Grid for what it's worth.
If you got a 64 gig Quest, you're going to be struggling a little bit with that download. So it is big. Be aware of that. But yeah, but I mean, I think that's pretty much it. We're looking forward to CES next year. We had so much fun meeting all these great people. And, you know, a lot of the news this week was still based off of CES stuff. That was the big kind of thing that's still happening. Not a lot of big news over that. But anyways, I mean, that is what it is.
Yeah, I'm glad to see what came out of it. It's cool to see how big it's gotten, how big the VR section is and stuff there. Super cool.
It was awesome.
And then to meet everybody,
such a good time.
Was just dope.
Yeah. Do we have any kind of outro today or anything?
Outro, we got the old school one. I forget which one I put in.
Just some music or is it video?
No, I got video.
We need to redo. We need to redo like our intro and outro stuff.
We need to find somebody to make us some dope highlight video or something.
If you're like an awesome video editor, hit us up.
Right.
Like, we need some help.
We do.
Especially at CES, we couldn't keep up. We have so much footage. We got like a terabyte worth of footage that just the time to put anything out on it.
Right.
So HamVR real quick asked, are you getting a Pimax crystal? Did you cancel your pre-order?
I have not canceled it.
Still debating?
It's still hanging out
I want
there.
one. I just don't want to pay for it. It's like $1,500.
Right. Yes.
I want one.
16.
It's just a lot of, I've spent too much money already, but
I know it's hard. I would just rather see myself having an XR Elite. That's it.
I'm excited.
I can only have so many headsets. You can only use one at a time.
Yeah,
so
it should be pretty soon. PSVR 2 next month. I'm super hyped about that.
Absolutely.
I have 6 weeks off of work when the wife has a baby, so I get to.
And I can't wait to try yours and not buy one myself. So
I know. So more on that, but we will definitely see you guys later. We'll hopefully play some VR with y'all this weekend.
Yes,
Breachers. Yeah, for sure. But anyways, take us out.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys back here or see you in VR. Probably in Breachers, right?
Later.
I know. Later.
I got into VR in 2016. That was when we first we got the Rift.
Howdy, howdy.
Hey, it worked.
There he is. How about
Perfect.
that?
Hey.
We're lucky to be here. I will admit that. My name's Tyler. This is Sean. We're Rendered Reality, and we were definitely up late playing some VR last night.
Yeah.
Always bigger.
That's what I was thinking.
Not always better. That's keep it PG, boys. I mean, right? We don't know like how much sound is coming out of it. It's true.
Right.
Is there more sound coming out of it? We don't know.
Yeah.